In their first meeting of 1989, the Pens outlasted their Patrick Division rivals, the New York Islanders, 5-2. That was on November 2nd. Leading the way for the Penguins was center John Cullen, who had a goal and 2 assists, and Cullen was named the game's #1 star. Goaltender Frank Pietrangelo made 30 saves in goal for the Penguins. Tonight, head coach Al Arbour brings the New York Islanders into Pittsburgh to meet the Penguins at the Civic Arena. And it's coming up next. Pittsburgh Penguin Hockey is sponsored in part by Far More, where Power Buying saves you far more. By Iron City Beer, you can't keep an Iron Man down. By Icy Light, preserve the wildlife. By Mellon Bank, Mellon does what it takes to earn your business every day. By Tallarico Ford, on the runway, the soft sell dealer. By the Train Team, your train heating and cooling experts. By your Buick Connection dealer, Buick, one of America's best. By Giant Eagle. Thank you, Pittsburgh, for continuing to make Giant Eagle your #1 supermarket. And by the Appliance Store, where you get the best for less. It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Tonight from the Civic Arena, the Penguins meet the New York Islanders. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Civic Arena here in Pittsburgh. The Penguins will be trying to make it 3 wins in a row as they host the New York Islanders. The Penguins on a pretty good streak right now. They beat the Rangers early in the week 6-0, and then the Quebec Nordiques 8-2 on Thursday. And some of the key players for the Penguins in that stretch of Paul Steigerwald have been John Cullen and Kevin Stevens, who have really turned it on.
They really have, Mike. You know, they're line mates, and they're also roommates. They're good friends, and I think one of the reasons why that is significant is that they talk about their game a lot when they're at home, and it has made a difference. They're working plays out while they're watching video of games, and they get on the ice and make things happen. Stevens with 5 points in his last 2 games. He had a 4-point game the other night against the Nordiques, and Johnny Cullen doing the same thing. John Cullen, I think, Mike, is a very important member of this team. He solidifies that situation with the Penguins having that great second line. When you have Mario Lemieux, John Cullen, and now Danny Quinn as your 3 centers, you're doing pretty well in the scoring department.
Penguins tonight will go back with Wendell Young, who will be in the goal, and he has played very well for the Pens.
He certainly has, and I think what's happened with Wendell Young is he's learned how to prepare for games, being the #1 goaltender, really. Tom Barrasso's going to be out for another 3 weeks. It's a little different when you're a backup and you've got to come in cold, but Wendell Young has learned that now he's the #1 man virtually, and he's getting ready for games more, and he's more prepared, and he's doing well here at home, too, Mike. He's got a good record on home ice.
Quickly, the Islanders come off a victory against Toronto the other night, and they have really been struggling of late in their last place in the division.
Mike, they just don't seem to be able to win games. They don't know how to win yet. They're a very young team, and last year they allowed way too many goals and couldn't score goals either. They're trying to be more defensive-minded under Al Arbour, but it's just a situation where if you play that defensive, close-checking style of game, you've still got to have the big guys that can score goals for you. They're just not getting goals from people they used to get them from. Even a guy like Mikko Makela, who you'd think would be in the prime of his career, just isn't scoring, and I think that's the big reason why the Islanders aren't winning.
All right, it'll be the Penguins against the Islanders. Sit back, relax, and enjoy it with us. It's all coming up right here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. Don Maloney went after it, signed as a free agent by the Islanders in the offseason. He lost it, and here's Cullen streaking back for the Penguins. Drop pass to Robbie Brown for Stevens in front of the net. He scores. It hit his stick, I believe. It caromed in, and the Penguins take an early 1-0 lead. Now, Michael motorcycle. The Penguins, Kevin Stevens and John Cullen red hot right now, and Robbie Brown also figures in as Stevens gets the goal. He just deflected it by Healy. Kind of a weird goal, Paul.
Yeah, it was almost unconscious, I think. Stevens put his stick out, certainly to hope to play the puck, but I don't think he had any idea that it was going to go in the net at that point. He was trying to stop the pass, take the puck, and make a play. He still had his head down when it went off the blade of his stick and just shot right past Glenn Healy into the net. And it went right between Healy's legs. Dan Quinn has played his best hockey of his career, I think, in the first part of this season. I mean, talking in terms of consistency, he's been there every night in all facets of his game, too.
Quinn has really done well in the faceoffs. Wins another one. Islanders in. Lemieux, the right side of Coffey. Shoots and scores. Paul Coffey gives the Penguins a 2-0 lead. Now I'll be cow kick. Quinn won the draw, and that helped set it up. And Coffey really blasted it to beat Glenn Healy. It all stemmed from the faceoff, Paul.
Yep. And Quinn won it cleanly, about as cleanly as you can win a draw. Lemieux and Coffey at the points. It's a nice combination. Lemieux goes over to Coffey, and he just one-timed it and just kept it right along the ice. And Healy couldn't stop it. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh. Coffey suddenly getting hot now, too. He was a +3 coming into this game in his last 2 games. He's had 2 assists in each of the last 2 after having only 1 assist in 10 games. So he's turned it around. And I really think having Lemieux on the point with him has made a big difference for Paul, because it gives Mario a chance to lug that puck a little bit and opens up.
193 career goals in the National Hockey League. He is just 7 shy of the 500 plateau. He is 15th in goal scoring all-time NHL. And he has a man to pass, and that man has 500. And who do you think that is? Did it last year. Lanny McDonald.
Trottier in his 15th year in the National Hockey League. Remember, there was a time, Mike, when they talked about him versus Wayne Gretzky. Who's the better player? That's how great Brian Trottier was. Or is, I should say. Still playing.
Well, and of course, Trottier coming off the big years with the Islanders winning. And here's Coffey now coming back in. He shoots and scores again. It's off somebody and deflects in. The Penguins now have a 3-0 lead. Well, you'd have to be here to believe it. Coffey just right down the right wing. Bob Airey was in front. Whether it hit him or not, I don't know. But Coffey came in, flipped it towards the net, and it knocked the Penguins have put it right by Glenn Healy.
Jeff Norton backing in with Coffey coming, and you really have to respect Coffey's ability at that point, but you know he's going to dish it off, and I think it may have hit Bob Airey on the way to the net.
Hit a stick or a skate. That's going to be the interesting thing. The referee gave him the goal, so apparently. See, I don't think that Bob Airey touched the puck. I think Coffey. I think it went off a defenseman.
That was going off Volek. Was that Volek coming back to the net?
Airey is going to get the goal. Wisconsin product goes to Wood, back to Flatley, shooting, and he missed the net from 40 feet. He had a good opportunity there, but he just couldn't find the net. 18 seconds to go in the period. Lead pass will come to John Cullen. 15. Cullen, drop pass to Lemieux, and it's offside against the Penguins. Scoreboard reads the Penguins 3 and the Islanders 1. Right here on the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. Time ticking down here as it's going to run out of the period. Mark Recchi putting a check in the ring, and he fell down, and one of the Islanders grabbed Randy Hillier. Was Gary Nyland. And it all started with Mark Recchi of the Penguins and Randy Wood. And Hillier went in to try and take a shot at Randy Wood, and Nyland came in and got the advantage on Randy Hillier. The period is now officially over. We may have some penalty time dished out here. At the end of it, at the 20-minute mark. Nyland's asking, I think, and he's in defense saying, I'm not the third man in, am I? Or he might be saying maybe Hillier's the third man in. That's a possibility. So the period is completed, and we've played 20 minutes of hockey here at the Civic Arena. The scoreboard reads the Penguins 3 and the Islanders 1 here on the Penguins Hockey Network.